G'day guys, it's your boy RATA-Touillie here today. I want to do a quick review of Sébastien Loeb RALLY EVO. This is the demo version. You can pick it up, or I picked it up off the PlayStation Store. Even though it's coming out, I think in a couple of days, you should be able to pick it up before you decide on whether to purchase. I'm not quite sure about Xbox One or PC, but I'm getting straight into it right off the bat. The graphics, especially in cockpit view, are very nice. All the animations are really smooth. It doesn't feel, if you're using a remote, it doesn't feel like you're using it's too, sort of what do you call it, like sensitive. You don't just quickly go left and right really quickly, because it's such a small space between the left of the toggle stick and the right of the toggle stick, which is quite nice. All of the views have their pros and cons, and it's a nicely all-rounded sort of game. And yeah, so getting into the actual rally stage, we get a nice sort of intro cinematic of the track, and then with this nice setup tent, which is I quite like all the sort of the animations and sort of backgrounds you get. The only thing I would say is that a tutorial would help for people who don't know what everything means. So sort of telling what a slow rebound on a suspension is, where like simple things like that, to help a new player who's coming into the game understand what exactly is going on. Hopefully they have that in the full game, but I can definitely tell this is going to be based towards a simulator racer. We only have a single stage of rally at the moment and the test track, so it'll be interesting to see what sort of rallycross stages and stuff we have, how that all works, and all that kind of time trailblazer style sort of rallying. So into the stage of the rally, it's really nice. The car feels quick. The cockpit, it's got nice shading. It all feels really good. The dials are all visible and work how they should. You get all the speed, the gears, how many revs, how far you've gone to that stage. So that's all really nice. The only thing I have to say is the handbrake. I don't really like how it's set up. Usually you could just press B or circle to initiate the handbrake, and it will lock up the back wheels so you can fling your car around. In the older cars, how you actually do it is you put the clutch in, handbrake on, handbrake off, clutch off, and then power out of it. And in the newer cars, they have a hydraulic handbrake, so you can sort of keep the car in accelerator and pull on the handbrake, and it will hydraulically lock the back wheels and stop the motor because it automatically kicks in the clutch. So I'd like to see it added into this, because in this, if you have even the tiniest bit of accelerator on and you push the handbrake or pull the handbrake, it doesn't lock the back wheels at all, and you just end up completely slowing your car, and in cases just going straight off the road because you can't fling your back around fast enough. It is only a small thing. I mean, it's pretty easy to get around. You just have to sort of try and remember to pull both, take the brake off and the accelerator off, and only apply the handbrake when you're coming around the corner. But yeah, it'd be really nice to see if you could just have the handbrake locking the back wheels, such as it does in Dirt 3 or Dirt Rally, where it just locks the back wheels and you're able to power out of it as soon as you release the handbrake. But apart from that, the graphics are really nice. The stages so far is a really difficult one. There's no tarmac. I mean, there's no gravel in it. It's only tarmac. The co-driver sounds really nice. He gives you pretty decent instructions. I mean, there's a few bumps and crests he notifies you about, but they're pretty insignificant, and he does miss out in this stage in particular a few important crests which can throw you off the road, but that's not a problem. I mean, it just sort of means you have to slow down or just wing it and just sort of guess where it's going, which is, I'd say, pretty realistic in a way. I mean, you can't get everything perfect. The co-driver doesn't get everything perfect, so it's good if if they throw in a few false or they throw in a few things where they just miss it out, which is nice. The whole stage is good. They've got a nice replay sort of flashback thing, so if you do come off the road, you get to use a flashback. As you can see, I've got 8 left in the bottom left corner, which is nice because if you are getting into the game, you know, you can use a flashback and reset yourself without losing any time. The only problem I'd say with it is when you come off the flashback, it's kind of hard to determine how fast the car's going to go if you're coming into a corner, because it slows the time down so much that it's kind of hard to judge it when you go into the corner. So now moving on to the test track, we do have a gravel section which you can come and test out, which we did now, and I must say the sound and the feel of the gravel is absolutely amazing. You always feel like you're struggling for grip. You will be needing to use the handbrake quite a lot in dirt, the gravel sections, as you can probably tell, because if you do mess up, you really do need to fling the back of the car just around quickly to try and correct yourself. But I really love it. The sound is amazing. You can hear the gravel flicking up. You get more of that whine I was talking about, where in the car more of a whistle in the dirt sections, which is really nice. It sounds really realistic. I can tell a lot of Scandinavian flicks are going to be used because you do have such little grip on the car that you are able to do it as I demonstrated a pretty good one here, where you throw the car in the opposite direction you want to go, losing all your grip, and then you can power through the corner to get around it nice and easily. And even just accidentally, the Scandinavian flick can, you know, get you out. If you come around a right-hander and it goes straight to a left, your car's already facing right. You've lost that grip, and you can almost just keep the power on going through the corners, which is really nice. And especially the animations for it all on the gravel, this is the real test, because you are moving your remote or your steering wheel so much. The animations keep up and keep it feeling really smooth and fluid. You know, when you're tapping on the handbrake, he gets there really fast, but not too fast. It makes it look quite realistic. It doesn't feel like it's really juddery or sensitive if you're using a remote. When you're flicking it, the toggles from left to right, the wheel doesn't automatically just go the other way, which is really nice. So it feels like you actually are in the cockpit of a car and you're battling or to try and keep the car on the road, which is really nice. And I just love that corner there, so where you get the to slide the car in the completely opposite direction, which is really nice feeling. I do love the feel of the gravel. It's probably the best out of all of the rally games so far I've felt. So yeah, if you do like this review, please leave us a like, subscribe. The game comes out in a few days. It may be out in some countries, but I'd definitely say pick up the beta if you are on the edge of buying it, because it's still on the store. A lot of the betas that are released stay on most of the stores. I know the FIFA 15 beta is still on the PlayStation Store, even though FIFA 16's out. So pick them up, give them a try. It's free. I mean, even if you don't buy the game, you can have fun in the beta. I mean, I've had plenty of fun just on the test track, sort of trying to drift around, get a nice, clean sort of lap going, and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, that's a good idea. Leave us a like, chuck us a sub if you'd like to do that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.